Hello, it's Nikki. I'm still sitting on the floor in my living room, but it's all groovy and it's actually quite comfortable. Today, I want to challenge you. And the challenge is to put your face on the internet. And I know sometimes we resist it and it's something else to do. And we don't want to because what would we say anyway? Or what if we say the wrong thing? Or what if we make no sense or sound daft? Or any of these things that we tell ourselves that we're not ready. But I want to say this. And this is from two perspectives, I guess. And it's going to inform you as a customer. But it's also going to inform your customers as well. And you as a business owner. Copywriting and copywriters are amazing. And I'm not a bad writer. I would say I was fairly competent, but I don't necessarily I write from the heart. So I don't necessarily have the structure patterns, or I know some people are expert sales page writers and they do a brilliant job. They get an essence of who that person is. They communicate it. They make sales. Brilliant. And I'm not discounting that in the slightest because that is loud traffic. Because that is very important. What I'm talking about is the addition of you. And the addition of you is not just you, what you look like, what you sound like, but your energy and how you show up and your personality and how people can get a feel of you and to really understand who you are and where you're coming from and whether that would work or not for them. I know that's quite a lot. That's quite a lot of questions. And you might be thinking, I don't know. But trust your instinct on this. There will be certain people on the internet or in real life that you just get a cracking feeling from. When you meet somebody and you're like, I feel like I've known you for years. Like, where did you go to school? Have we met before? What's happening? And then there'll be some people in life where you're like, no. Oh gosh, oh no, this just doesn't feel good. Oh, I just feel a bit funny in this situation, or I don't feel like I can be myself. And so by showing up and showing who you are on the internet, you're going to help people to make a decision. You're going to be able to give people, and this is again about doing it with lovely boundaries. You don't have to share your story or your life history or your medical history or anything like that. But showing who you are and what you're all about is really vital. I've also seen this in terms of the podcast as well, of how it's grown my brand, how it's welcomed opportunities, how I've been able to bring new clients in or be booked for things. And one of the things that happens all the time is people go, oh, you're exactly who I thought you were going to be. Brilliant. I mean, I don't know quite what that impression is, but I think that's right, that you want your online presence and your offline presence to be really close. Because actually I've had it the other way where I've watched people online and they're all like, women supported women. And then you meet them in real life. And I have to say, there's been a number of times where I've been hugely disappointed or shocked or just confused because they're not the person that I thought they were. And yeah, that's a whole different story. But what I'm talking about is really tuning in to what you need to share and how you can show up. And I want you to imagine your customer, whoever they might be, who's maybe having a look on the internet and joining some newsletters or scrolling or typing in random searches to Google. I want you to think about that person. And I know from personal experience, maybe, that many of us feel quite uncomfortable asking for help. That is not our default setting. We are, like my mum always says, like, you are clever and you'll figure it out. And I guess that's sort of how I was brought up. Like, I wasn't taught to be a whinge bag who'd be like, yes, but like, this is like 4 years later and I still don't know what to do. Like, I was taught to be resourceful. To be proactive, to ask questions and to find the solution. And so look, I'm getting really uncomfortable even doing it. When I have to ask for help, I find it really uncomfortable. Really uncomfortable. I do not want to do it. And that might be the case for your client. And when people ask for help, it's usually going to be in an area of their life that maybe there is some activity that they don't feel confident sharing with many people. So maybe, for example, you are an accountant and your customer, your client, knows that they need help with their accounting. But in all other areas of their life, and maybe they have, I don't know, a happy marriage, or they go on 2 holidays a year, or they're making loads of money, or they've set up a charity, but actually the day-to-day admin of their life really freaks them out and they don't want to do it. And they're a bit shamed because their receipts are in a mess and things like that. In that situation, I would say your ideal client doesn't need to be told off. They don't need to be told off and shamed for like doing it wrong, or I can't believe you got yourself into this state. In fact, it's the opposite. Kindness will lead the whole way, because when that person is vulnerable, they are really exposed to criticism, to feedback, and they're putting themselves in your trust. So this is the importance of really showing who you are. And this is one of the reasons why often in my talks, I share that I'm a mum. And before I was a mum, I was always very nurturing. Like, I'm the oldest child on my dad's side. And so the oldest cousin. So I've always had baby cousins around and, you know, taking care of other people's kids. I've got nieces, I've got godchildren. I've always felt really at home in that nurturing role. And that is something that I always share in terms of my talks, because when people put their hand up and they make the commitment to make a change, and they have no idea who I am or what I'm all about, but they choose to put their bum in that seat on a Saturday morning and take a risk, they need to know that they're going to be in a safe place for that. Also, you as the business owner, how can you really support your client once you know who they are? How can you bring the information that you know that your client needs in the way that they need it into your talks, into your online presence, in the way that you deliver things? Maybe you need to sit on your living room floor like I'm doing to you. But one of the ways that I do that is storytelling, or I take you behind the scenes, or I tell you the mistakes that I've made, because there have been many. And that's okay as well. And I've shared this post on Instagram sometimes of like, I'm not perfect and I don't expect my clients to be either. And I think there is sometimes this feeling that if you're going to go to the next level or ask for help, then you have to get everything lined up first and everything has to be perfect. And it's not often. When you ask for help, you are usually at that crossroads. And sometimes it's that crossroads of like, I really want to take my business to the next level, or do I close it tomorrow? You know, sometimes it is those kind of extremes where you're really truly in that moment of confusion of, I don't know what to do. So as business owners, we need to be kind to those people, because I know as a customer, as a client, when I've invested in myself, I've needed that kindness very much, very, very much. And I do not respond well to the, I'm going to break you down and build you back up. I learned that very quickly at drama school, and the teachers who wanted to do that and kind of expose you or humiliate you, I think that is not the one. That is certainly not the best way to get good stuff out of me. And I know that about myself. And again, that is not me being like, oh, a bit of a scaredy cat, or not willing to be brave or have a go. We all need to do things in a way that works for us and in our own time as well. So I hope you've got something from that. If you want to build on what we've shared today, where can I share things? Okay, so the first thing you can do is go to the freebies section of my website. There's loads of really good stuff, masterclasses, video series, etc. So come on over there and choose that. Next, you might want to go to my Pick and Mix store, which you will find a discovery call training, or like a let's have a chat training. So if you want to really work on your sales and talk about, like, get across who you are in a sales opportunity, or if you're pitching for something, that might be a really good one as well. There's also one about content. Again, it will be really useful in terms of really reframing your content and making sure it's speaking to your customer or your client base. Finally, if you want to join Speak Up, this is going to be a great one for you. If you want to bring speaking or communicating or growing an audience from being a podcast host or a podcast guest and really getting your message out there. And when I say get your message out there, I don't necessarily mean like, let's go worldwide and global tomorrow, but let's do this in a way that feels like you. Because I know that if we look around the internet and we're not keeping our eyes to the front, then sometimes it can feel all consuming, basically. So let's do you. That sounds wrong, but you know what I mean? Like, give yourself permission to look at what's going to really work for you and step into that. I'm going to leave all the links down below, so do check them out. And I look forward to hearing what you took away from today. And if you want to share this episode, please do so. Tag me and I'll tag you back. And I'll see you again very soon. Lots of love.